So it's the 29th of June 2025. There was a rare bit of news and controversy to come out of the UK. So I thought, given that the ceasefire has made things a little quieter here in Israel, it was worth checking in on how the UK is doing. Yesterday there was a interesting specimen of an artist at Glastonbury, and he encouraged the crowd to chant "Free, Free Palestine," quite a little more controversially and a little more risque, "Death, Death to the IDF." IDF is Israel's national army. He probably doesn't have the cojones to say that to their faces. And he also said to the native Brits, "I've heard you want your country back. Shut the F up," and did crying motion. All of this, all at the same time as he has a Palestine flag at the back of his stage. So yeah, that's how the UK makes international news these days, and I don't take any enjoyment out of that. By the way, I find it very depressing. So a few things. Number one, a few days after, like, one of the most incredible military campaigns the world has ever seen, with Israel and the US collaborating, it is a little disturbing that the UK just keeps on going further and further into the morass. To chant, shouldn't have crossed the road then, apologies, to chant death to what's an allies army. I mean, I don't know where the UK is these days. You would normally, like 10, 20 years ago, you would normally align the UK with the US, right? So supposedly there was a special relationship, and this is how the UK and the US went into war in Iraq. And I mean, this dates back decades, back to World War II, where the UK and the US fought side by side. Now, in the Iranian campaign, obviously, the Americans and Israelis fought side by side briefly, but there was no question that they weren't allies, have been allies, and will continue to be allies. So to chant for the death of an ally to America's army at a massive festival in the UK, yeah, a little disturbing. Now, there's a lot of different dimensions you can look at. I do think that it's inevitable that this rather virulent strain of far left, like Islamo-socialism, extremism, will pass whenever there's next an election. Labour and Starmer are just too unpopular. So, I mean, it does look as if the UK just has to get through, say, to 2028, 2029, and there'll be a new government that isn't a far left Islamo-socialist extreme government. But in the meantime, if it continues on the trend it's on, it's going to get very, very disturbing, and it's already disturbing. Even in 2028, 2029, I don't really see Farage and reform being enough, given the state that London's in, and the UK was pretty much just an economy based on London. And if London's going, if Sadiq Khan's sending London down the tubes, there's not really much left. And given that so many of the major cities in the UK have just been swamped with third world immigration, I don't think Farage has the cojones to actually deport that many people or turn it around. So, I mean, wherever you look, it's going to be very bleak in the next few years. It might not be quite as bleak in 2028, 2029, but it's not going to turn around 180 degrees, that's for sure.